Good now, revolutionaries, and welcome back to Faceless Labs. We are here in the meme coin casino. Last time, we talked about the master metric liquidity. You want to make sure there's money in the pot, so you're not just a millionaire on paper. You can actually sell those tokens and realize any gains you might have made. Alex, how many times have you seen it happen that even if somebody does the simple check we did last time, looked at volume, looked at liquidity, they saw it was locked, and yet somehow still they got scammed out of their money. They were rug pulled. They were honeypotted. Something happened, and they lost it all.
I mean, more times than I can count. Certainly more times than I've seen success stories. This is a very risky game. There's no way around it. All we're really trying to do here is mitigate our risk as much as we possibly can. But at the end of the day, we like to say in crypto, the most creative and the most innovative people in the space are the scammers. And they are constantly coming up with new ways to separate you from your money. And all we can really do is stock our tool belt as full as we can with as many different tools as possible to get ourselves the info we need to at least try to make more informed decisions.
Yeah, I said it before. I'll say it again. It's a shame that we'll never be the most innovative people in the space, huh?
It really is. Yep. No matter how hard we work, the scammers work harder.
But hey, that's why we're here. We're here to help you do some diligence and try to stay safe while you're gambling in the meme coin casino. So, Alex, what are we going to look at today?
So first, today, we are going to take a look at a little meme coin that lives over on Base, actually. And I'm going to pull up our DEXScreener page right here, which you might remember from a previous video.
That's right. If you want to follow along, go to DEXScreener.com. And if you haven't seen that video and you need to catch up, it's linked in the description below. We'll put it at the end of this video. Make it easy for you to find it. Alex, my friend, please continue.
So what we've got over here, like Evan just said, DEXScreener.com. We're going to search for whatever network it is that we're interested in. I've pre-selected an arbitrary meme. We've got based Chad over here in the hot seat today. Chad, the most based of Chads, lives on Base. God, say base. Say base again. I got a dollar for it.
Base.
Someone's taking a shot every time we say base.
Can we, a side note, launch a meme coin called All About That Base on Base?
I've noticed that dueling tokens on Base was actually a really brief trend that I thought was definitely going to pick up a little more steam. There was like "we're so back" versus "it's over."
Oh yeah. People were kind of voting by what they bought.
Yeah. And did you notice that when we had that super red day the other day, "it's so over" was the #1 trending meme on Base for like 6 hours? Yeah.
I did not see that. That's brilliant though.
It's funny. I thought that was one of the more creative memes that I had seen.
Well, I like Chad a lot. Chad is pretty based.
I mean, look at that jawline, right? So like we said, Chad lives on Base. Chad trades against wrapped ETH. And the DEX pool that we're looking at right here is the pool of Chad versus ETH on Uniswap. In our previous video, we went into a little bit of detail about what you can get from this page. You might have already picked out a couple things if you remember that tutorial. All we're interested in today is coming down here and grabbing the contract address for Chad. So I'm going to just click right here to copy that. And I'm going to take us over to Tokensniffer, which is our first stop in the different places that you can go to start doing a little bit more due diligence. Okay. Now, I say it before, I will say it again, I will continue to say it. This is not a catch-all. This is not the end-all be-all of research. We're not going to simply be able to stop from here and know everything there is to know. However, we can get a way better picture by using a tool like this and start to, like I said, mitigate our risk a little bit more. So right here in the search, we're just going to paste the contract address that we pulled off of DEXScreener. As you can see here, it pulls up Chad for us. And then we're going to get a little profile page here that gives us a few little tidbits of information.
Love it when it's easy, man. Ooh, look at that score right off the bat.
All right. So, Evan, if you see a 100 out of 100, are you just closing Tokenscreener and going straight back to the DEX and full sending your entire bag of ETH at Chad?
If I'm down really bad and it's been a day at the meme coin casino, 3 cups of coffee and 5 mint toothpicks in, I might do that. But if I'm following my own advice, no. I honestly would look around at least at a couple of things first, because I like to always learn what makes this contract so secure, in their opinion.
In their opinion, yeah, exactly. So One of the reasons I like Tokensniffer is because they do put a good, healthy amount of disclaimers at the head of different pieces of information. So as you can see here, they've given it a score of 100 out of 100, which is kind of, seems really good, but it's also the bare minimum. Like you might have gotten credit for a class that you got a 75 in, but we don't want to see a 75 out of 100 on a Tokensniffer just because, that 25% could be the thing standing between you and a scam. So as it says here, the audit score is just how well this particular token meets the criteria for safety. These things get updated. And as it says right here, a token with a high score may still have hidden malicious code. And this is just simply not information that we can get on a little front end display like this, but it's better than nothing. So if we scroll down here, we can get exactly what criteria they are judging based on. So you'll notice that they've done a little check and seen that swapping seems to be fine. You seem to be able to purchase. You seem to be able to buy or sell. They're knowing that it's not a honeypot at this time. Okay.
At this time.
Leaves us open to the possibility that code can be changed. You may have heard that metadata, that anything to do with blockchain is untamperable. It's immutable. It cannot be changed. That is simply not the case. The reality is that if the code is originally programmed to be able to be changed, then it can most certainly be changed. You will see mutable metadata as a red flag on some of these token sniffing websites, which just means that when they built the thing, they built it to be changed. And you know what? Sometimes that's intentional. Sometimes that is, for example, we have created an NFT collection in the past that had mutable metadata on purpose because we wanted people to go back and be able to change stuff, upgrade things, change features, do whatever. The difference is we made that super public. Some of these things will try to keep it quiet so that you gloss right over that.
Very sneaky.
Moving on, they do a quick little contract analysis. We'll get a little bit deeper on this in just a second. They're not finding any glaring red flags here. Holder analysis, so they're determining that we see an appropriate level of distribution for what it is that we're looking at. They're determining that the liquidity is adequate. Notice they use the word adequate, not like amazing. We're not, we're not like overly impressed by how much it is. We're just not scared away immediately.
Yeah.
And a couple other little tidbits down here. So again, 100 out of 100 should be kind of the bare minimum. And that does not mean that this thing is going to go to the moon. It just means that it's not an obvious scam. It could still absolutely crater and go straight into the ground if everyone finds something funnier. A chattier Chad comes around and all of a sudden this one is not the chattiest Chad that ever chatted.
No way, impossible. Never going to happen, dude. This is Chad.
Dude, literally, just to put this in perspective for you guys, the only thing that really has to happen for this thing to crater is someone launch a meme that is chattier. And all of a sudden, enough people might think that one is funnier enough that they're just going to pull bags and move over there. And
more Chad. It could be Pepe Chad. Who knows?
It could be. Yeah, who knows? Could be anything. So our first stop after this quick little scan here is to go over to one of my favorite features, the bubble map.
I do love the bubble map.
Dude, this thing is so cool. Let me
explain something quickly too, that all of this information is just a user interface.
Yeah.
Tokensniffer is a site we are trusting because they have built a reputation for consistently displaying information that is directly on the blockchain ledger in an easy to understand manner. You could at any time verify and validate all this information against that record. It's just a little harder to read in that form. So while we'll explain how to do that in our next video, make sure you're following along. We love solutions like this that show up to make the job of reading the blockchain, that magic notebook, easier and frankly fun. Who doesn't love bubbles, right?
I agree. It's a cool way to visualize it. It kind of helps put it in perspective a little bit more. What are wallets on a chain doing token stuff with their friends, right? It's a big web. There's connections everywhere. And like Evan said, this is just a display of information pulled off the chain. But I'm going to
tell my kids this is Web3.
There you go. I mean, hey, shit, dude, it is. This is one of those things, though, that kind of helps me feel a little bit better when I'm looking at something like this. Not only do they have this nice and easy to sift through display, it's immediately fact checkable. So all of these bubbles are actually links to go straight to the blockchain explorer and verify that what they're saying here to us right now is true.
And what is it they're saying? What are they visualizing for us? Can you paint that picture so I can read it?
For sure. So down here underneath the map, they give you a little quick description of, what it is that we're looking at. So this bubble map visualizes token transfers between the top 100 wallets and other wallets. So creator addresses are shown in orange. You can see here we've got the creator address, the address listed as the one that initially created this token we're looking at. The burn addresses are shown in red. So this right here is, again, a green flag. Again, not the only flag we want to see, but it is a good sign that the creator wallet has exclusively one connection in this big wave of top holders, and that is out to the burn wallet. That's one of the things that we would like to see.
Yeah.
There are a couple other colors down here. We don't see any exchanges, but if we did, they'd be in cyan. And then all of the other little blue ones here are just the other 98 top holders. So let's pick a random one and just go into it and see what we're looking at. So
yeah, sure. I'd like to do one maybe that has some connections to a couple others. Would be nice.
Okay, let's pick this one right here. It's got connections going out to 3 different wallets that we can see, and it holds some of the supply. So that button will just take us right out to the blockchain explorer for Base Scan, which is a product of EtherScan here. So you might have seen other content from us about using blockchain explorers. We'll do a more in-depth video in the future about how to get more information from this stuff, because this is really where you get more in the weeds and pull more information. You can get everything from this, but it's not quite as user-friendly. So for the sake of this video, just know that any of those wallets that you're interested in starting to chase and dig a little bit deeper into, you can just link straight out and take a look at all of the transactions that they've ever done. You can separate them out by different kinds of transfers. You can see what they're currently holding, how much value is currently sitting in the wallet. You can go over here and click to see what this address pulls back on different chains, which implies that this is a hefty wallet that's doing more stuff. It's involved in more things, and just continue to info gather the deeper that you want to dig. So let's go back to
from
our
sniffing to sleuthing. I absolutely love it.
So you could do that for any of these. And I definitely recommend checking out. If you've never dug through it before, it's pretty cool. You can really get a good practice on using a blockchain explorer. I mean, you're not going to hurt anything by just clicking around in the explorer and seeing what you can find and seeing if any of it makes sense. So
and some of it can actually be really fun. One of my favorite accounts to follow is Zach XBT. They're on Twitter. He does some of the coolest data hunting and blockchain sleuthing around and uses it to bust bad guys, give money back to the community, discover hacks and exploits. Like, it actually, as unsexy as it appears, can be thrilling. And then, of course, they've got, I didn't know if you were going to cover this, Alex, but it might just be worth noting, they've got the code to the contract, whichever side it's on, right there next to the bubble map. So even if you're not a developer, if you wanted to copy and paste that into ChatGPT and ask, is there anything wrong with this contract? Do you notice any errors? Anything I should be concerned about? Like, that's a cool way to check, to learn something at the same time. And they make it so easy for you to do it right there. Cause I'm lying. I can read like 2 things on that, but that's it. I don't know what the hell it's telling me.
No, I'm not a developer either. I wouldn't be able to look at this and tell you, too much about it. They kind of help you a little bit by highlighting and bolding and colorizing a couple different lines and a couple different specific things to sort of highlight like specific functions. But no, I mean, at the end of the day, one of the other things that you can do, and again, not a catch-all, just another tool in your tool belt, would be to take this, send it to ChatGPT, and just say, hey, this is the contract code for some random meme coin. I'm concerned about the potential for there to be malicious code or something, that's a scam. Set the prompt up well, give it some context, and just ask it, if it can pick out any troubling pieces of code, or help me understand what it is I'm looking at. I mean, just take a little chunk of it and send it over and be like, hey, I'm looking at this code for the first time. Explain this to me, as if I'm 10 years old, and see what it comes back with.
And the other thing, this is a very natural time to tell you that if you are not a developer, that's okay. You don't have to be to learn this stuff. And the best thing you can do is to get in a community of people who can help you, who might be developers who are interested in learning about development. I mean, Alex and I have only gotten where we are in this space, in this industry, because of the people we've met and learned from along the way. And so I want to invite you to check out the riseupmorningshow.com. That's our website. It's got all our social links where you can get involved with our community. It's totally free to join our Discord. It's totally free to sign up for our newsletter. And we would love to have you there with the friends we've made along the way, so that if you see a contract like this and want to ask a question, and maybe we won't respond to the comment you leave here right away, we're there. We can have a conversation. We can send files back and forth. Nobody's going to try and sell you anything, and nobody's going to make fun of you for asking like a dumb question. It's a great place, and you can find it there at the riseupmorningshow.com. Sign up for our newsletter, even buy a cool coffee mug if you want to. It's the only thing I'm going to try to sell you today. But that's what we're here for, people, is to give you a community to accelerate your learning journey. And speaking of learning, Alex, do we have a couple more resources we want to look into, or do you just want to tag them? What are you thinking?
Yep, I'm thinking that let's do a quick check on one, just because one of the things you may notice immediately about Tokensniffer is that they do not index the Solana blockchain.
That's right.
And so I'm going to give you just a quick resource that you can do basically the same thing, but over for the Solana tokens. And then I would like to kind of honorably mention a couple other good scam check websites that you can peek into, each of which excels at something specific. So
I like that.
If we hop back over here to our friend DEXScreener, I've picked up just one of the trendiest, memeiest of memes over on Solana right now. You may recognize this as the one where the dude launching it lost on accident, like all the pre-sale
tokens. $10 million.
Yeah, just casually accidentally lost $10 million. It totally wasn't a marketing stunt. But anyway, we've pulled that one up here, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Hop down on the side here, grab the contract address for the token, and we're going to go over to the Solana equivalent of Tokensniffer, SOLSniffer. When in doubt, sniff the token, right? So
when in doubt, man, what's it smell like? Easy.
Let's see what Slurf smells like.
It doesn't sound like it smells very good, dude.
So this is great, actually. I've never sniffed Slurf. God,
you've never sniffed Slurf?
I've never sniffed Slurf. I love that this is like a tech-focused educational video, and I just 100% genuinely used sniffing Slurf in a sentence, and I'm actually talking about something serious. This is a serious industry, folks. Okay,
it's very serious. And seriously, I think I might have sniffed Slurf 2 or 3 times back in 2011.
The fact that we just said sniff Slurf this many times and didn't screw it up is pretty impressive. All right, enough about sniffing Slurf. So
go for it.
Over here, we've got the score. So where Chad earned a 100 out of 100, they found a couple things that they flagged for us over here. So we're going to take a quick look and see what it is. And the first two are things that you're going to see a lot in this space. Okay. Number one, mutable metadata. This means, as it says here, it kind of breaks it down for you, which is really nice. The ability to alter the token metadata, the code, post deployment. Okay, so it's already out there. You may have bought some already, but somebody can change this thing after the fact. And honestly, you see this on a ton of memes. It's not like instantly, a deal breaker. But
yeah, you said 100 was like the base, but like if it has an 87 and this is why, that's not necessarily a deal breaker for me.
No, it wouldn't be a deal breaker for me, but I definitely want to be aware of it because
I want to find out more. Yeah.
I'm going to treat this much differently.
Yep.
The next one that they've got here is just that it's recently deployed. So they're going to flag everything that's new and fresh as risky, which is
mostly the meme coin casino.
Yeah, pretty much the entire thing. I mean, if you go over to some of these things and check memes rolling in, you'll see people launch one of these things every 30 seconds, every 60 seconds. They are constant. It is relentless. And so this is a really common flag. By itself, not a deal breaker, but I definitely want to be aware of it. They also highlight a couple of the things that they did check for that they did not see. So this is a good one. I've seen this one a lot.
I like that.
The creator wallet is not connected to any other known scams. Now, this also feels like a good time to just make the disclaimer once again, and I promise I'll be done with these. That doesn't mean that they've never scammed anyone. All you have to do to get around that is just do it from a fresh wallet and stop scamming people out of the same wallet. But this is one of those things that you can be aware of. I like to go down this list and just be like, oh, wow, these are all things that can be just checked real quickly that they are extrapolating from the contract code. So just kind of more stuff to be aware of. They give you a little liquidity analysis down here. They give you some basic token information. You can actually, if you read this and you're like, dude, I'm so sold on.
Let's go.
Full send. They've got a DEX connection right here. You can plug your wallet in and start going.
They've got a DEX connection, and notice it's Jupiter.
Oh my God.
DEX aggregator and DeFi protocol. You can hear Alex and I banter and bicker more about whether Jupiter is in fact a DEX or not. If you join us live on our show, we'll tell you more about that in a second. But
I mean, a real treat.
I love that they made it easy.
No, it's it's just they're on a never-ending quest to provide a good user experience.
Yeah.
So you can also then, like we said on the other one, they don't have a bubble map, which I'm really fingers crossed that they do something like that, because it would just be so cool. And I love the bubble map.
It's great.
But you can hop straight out to the Explorer here, and it's going to take us to SolScan and give us the blockchain Explorer on Solana, but the profile now for Slurp. And very similarly to the one that we did for the previous token, you can check transfers, you can check transactions, holders, get some of that good stuff. You can pull the code, all that kind of stuff. Classic blockchain Explorer stuff. And stay tuned. We'll do a full breakdown on how to read an Explorer in a future video.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. The Blockchain Explorer video is coming up next, so you want to make sure that you follow along. Leave us a comment if there are other crypto topics that you are interested in understanding on a deeper level in a brief video like this that goes through specifics. And also, if you enjoy this kind of thing and would like to just have a conversation with us and ask us your questions like in real life person live, then I want to invite you to join the Rise Up Morning Show. It's Monday through Thursday, TikTok at the handles below. We break things down just like this. We answer audience questions and just generally have a really good time together. So join us there live on TikTok. And as we say, rise up. You got some honorable mentions for us, brother?
Yep. I think we can wrap up here by checking two other. And again, there are lots more tools. If you have a favorite, feel free to drop it down below and we can add it to our honorable mentions list. Definitely happy to share more links. But these are two that I've used before. So Evan, do you want to maybe talk about Rug Check? Because I know this is one that you're familiar with.
Yes, and to be fair, I haven't used it in a minute, but it is essentially the same as SOLSniffer or Tokensniffer. You're going to paste a contract token address into the checkbox, and it's going to do a little bit of due diligence for you, giving it a score based on what they are able to discern from the blockchain. They just present it in a different sort of format. I kind of like the retro look.
No, I'm a big fan of the retro look. So same kind of thing. You're going to grab the contract address right off of something like DEXScreener, like we did earlier. Just paste it in, and then check this through. Get the information that you're looking for. The other one is a little bit more specific. So a honeypot is a specific kind of scam that comes up, unfortunately, all too often in crypto. Essentially, where you're lured in by something that looks promising. Someone is usually manipulating the price to make it look like the thing is just shooting to the moon and not stopping anytime soon. And you buy this token and you're sitting there just watching your value go up and up and up. And then you're like, you know what? I've had enough. I'm ready to cash out. And you go to sell and the transaction fails and it continues to fail. And your slippage is high and you're paying the maximum amount of gas possible and you just can't sell. And it turns out that what you've done is purchase into a honeypot, something that is made to look appetizing, but is actually just going to get you stuck.
It's impossible to get out of.
Impossible to get out of. Somebody coded the thing from the beginning to where anyone who wasn't on their special list of people who are going to make all the money from the scam simply can't sell. They can only purchase. So you can check token addresses here. This particular website is only indexing the Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum, which is unfortunate, but better than nothing. And here now as well, they throw this disclaimer on. This is not a foolproof method. Geez, say that 10 times fast.
You got tongue twisters today, man.
That was a good one. Just because it's not a honeypot now does not mean that it will not change in the future. And that takes us back to our mutable metadata. So someone could launch the thing without a programmed honeypot so that they can pass that sniff test on the audit sites and then realize like, holy crap, this thing really is just printing money. I'm going to go back in and change something, and I'm going to blacklist all of the addresses that bought early that are hugely in profit so that they can't sell. That way, none of them ding me on my, I don't know, did it just show you a thumbs up?
A thumbs up. Did you just like your own wisdom there?
Yes. Well, now it seems to have frozen me. There we go. All right. Well, thumbs up aside. Where was I?
I feel pretty. You were saying just that metadata, if mutable, means it's just like not your keys, not your crypto. If somebody has a key to that contract, they can go back and change it. That's something you sometimes see people do, is they burn the keys to the contract to prove to the community of people it can never be changed. But there is always a risk. Is the bottom line.
Always a risk. Always
a risk. And I didn't say it, but a rug pull, a honeypot. There are many different names for these things. But like Alex said earlier, I want to iterate, they're always innovating. They constantly take different forms. Smart contracts are programmable to do whatever a piece of code might be able to commit to. The sky is the limit. And frankly, I mean, we haven't seen most of the kinds of things that will be done in this new medium yet. That's why we're so excited to be here,
Absolutely.
And why we're glad that you're here too. I want to remind you one more time that you can join us live every Monday through Thursday on TikTok. At either of our profiles below, we do live question and answer. If you have a question or a topic suggestion for a future video, then also leave it in the comments, because we're going to check those. And if you want to get the Rise Up weekly newsletter, it's totally free, infrequent, highly valuable stuff. Head on over to the riseupmorningshow.com. We've got all the links over there. You can sign up in a click. You can join our free Discord community. You can find our TikTok handles. And even if you feel so inclined, support the show by buying a cup of coffee, because we're never going to tell you what tokens to buy, but we are going to confess that you'll look pretty sick if you're showing up to the Rise Up Morning Show with your Rise Up Morning Show mug. So that's it, man. I'm well met, Alex. What do you think? You feeling good about it?
I'm well met. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Until then, my friends, rise up.